Welcome to fall. Well, guys, fall, autumn, whatever you want to call it, the reality is it has arrived. Up here in the Northern Hemisphere, the leaves are starting to change, it's getting a lot colder, and it is officially sweater weather. But that also means there's a lot more time to stay inside, turn on the fireplace, and read a book. I figured to kick off the new season, I'd do something a little bit different here on the WordNerds and do a meme that I usually do over on my written book blog. So this is Top 10 Tuesday. It's hosted by The Broke and the Bookish. And I usually do it because I love all things list related, and making lists about books is pretty much my favorite thing of all time. So this week's topic is top 10 books on my fall TBR list, and let's check it out. Now, I'd love to include a bunch of fall releases on this list, but the reality is I won't really be buying a lot of books between now and the end of the year because I already have so many I need to get to. So with the exception of a couple of arcs that I have already, these are mostly going to be books that are already out, but that I'm just getting around to now, which is a little bit sad. On that note, let's start with the arcs and the books that are actually coming out this fall. First up is Loop by Karen Akins. This is coming out October 21st from St. Martin's Griffin, and it is a YA time travel book. The tagline is a thrilling new YA novel in which a time traveler accidentally brings a boy from the past into the 23rd century, only to discover he's keeping secrets of his own. Yes, please. My second arc that I want to read in the next month or so is Mortal Gods by Kendar Blake. This is book 2 in the Mortal Gods series, which is all about the Greek gods and kind of how they're interacting in the new world, and they're kind of dying off, and it's a little bit dark and all kinds of epic. So if you want to check out that series, I highly recommend it if you're a fan of Greek mythology in any way, shape, or form. Next up is Cruel Beauty by Rosamund Hodge. I think this was first recommended to me by Emma, and since then I've heard so many good things about it, even though I don't really know what it's about beyond that it's kind of a Beauty and the Beast retelling. The tagline is, her mission was to kill him, her destiny was to love him, and because I've heard so many good things about this one, I don't really want to know more. I just want to jump in and see what happens. Then we have Sisterhood Everlasting, which is the follow-up book to the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants series, which I love so much. I just finished rereading it, and I'm kind of nervous to check this one out and see where all the characters' lives took them after the end of the series. But I'm too curious to not read it, so I'm going to hope for the best. Then we have The Glass Sentence by S.E. Grove, which is a book I kind of stumbled across on Goodreads and then had to go out and get it right away because the concept was just too good to pass up. Basically, it is an alternate version of Earth where different sections of the map exist in different time periods, I guess. That, like, one area, like New York, can be in the 20s, and then another area 3 states over can be in the 1800s, and it continues like that all across the world. I don't know much about what the actual plot is about, but the world alone is enough to hook me. So I will be reading that one very, very soon. After that, though, the rest of the year and the concept of top 10 is kind of cheating because it's all about finishing series that I've started. So I want to jump into the Beth Revis's Across the Universe series. We read the first one for one of the WordNerds book clubs, and I really want to see what happens. Then for November's book club, we are doing the Shatter Me series by Taha Ramafi, and I've read the first one before, but I never finished the series, so I'll be doing Unravel Me, Ignite Me, and Unite Me. I felt kind of meh about the first book, but I've heard such good things about the series overall that I'm really excited to read this one. I'm actually kind of putting it off, though, because I want to read it closer to when the WordNerds will be talking about it, so it's all fresh in my head. So I'm excited to read these ones, but I'm going to have to hide them from myself for a little bit longer. The same goes for The Selection by Kira Cass. I've read the first 2, and I've been putting off reading the final one, The One, and now I'm not sure if I'm just going to reread the entire series to have it fresh in my head as we go into the final book of the first trilogy, now that there's going to be at least 2 more books in this series. But I really loved the first 2 in the series, and I can't wait to see what happens to America Singer. So we'll be doing this whole series for the WordNerds December book club. If you haven't read these books yet, definitely check them out. I love them a lot. And I'm pretty sure if you like YA and you like romance, you're going to like these books. And finally, the last series I hope to finish reading in 2014 is The Cowhill Witch Chronicles by Jessica Spotswood. That will start with a reread of Born Wicked, moving on to Starcursed, and then Sister's Fate. I really love the first book. I love the concept of a sister-based story, and I always like reading about witches, so I think this is going to be pretty good. I know I liked the first book, so I know I like the writing. And that is it for my fall TBR list. Technically, fall goes into December, right? Because there is a lot of books on this list, but I'm pretty optimistic. And of course, don't forget to tune in on Sunday for our September book club discussion, which is Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor, which is basically one of my favorite books ever. I suspect we're all going to have a lot of good things to say about this book, so you should probably be there if you've read it or have ever even thought about reading it. That's it for today. Thank you for watching, and happy writing!